stop me now, they won't stop me now, they won't stop me, no. They won't stop me now, they won't stop me now, they won't stop me, no.
Hello and welcome back to We Are Mighty. I am your host, LaTanya Cross, aka Mighty's Mama, and I'm happy to see y'all this week. So how have you been? How's the last couple weeks been for you? For me, it was an emotional roller coaster. I've been trying to be strong and, go day by day and just take it a day at a time. But the closer a certain holiday got, the worse it seemed my week got. And I really couldn't control it like I wanted to. I knew it was going to be difficult, but I didn't want it to, as I always say, I didn't want it to consume me. I have been a mother for 27 years, and I have to say, this was the worst Mother's Day ever. As can be expected, I'm sure. But I still, like I said, I still tried to control my emotions. It didn't work very well. I really thought it was going to be just like any other Sunday at least. Get up, go to church, do what I do in the couple services, and then maybe, once I got home and thought about that my son wasn't going to come up by like he normally did, that it was going to be pretty emotional for me. So I was trying to prepare myself like I just knew exactly how the day was going to go. I don't know why I thought that, but that was my plan. Get up, try to treat it as any normal Sunday, and maybe we'll make it until 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon before it's a mess. I started crying at 6 a.m. I couldn't sleep, first of all, so I was up most of the night. And of course, my husband's like, well, why didn't you wake me up? Why would I wake you up just because I can't sleep? I know he's trying to be a support system, but no, I'm going to let you sleep. But it wasn't like I got a text or anything. I didn't get a message. I just woke up in tears and still tried to pull it together and still try to hold myself with a good posture, good appearance for the day. And we got ready for church, and the first service is at 9. We get to the church around 8. And it seemed like the more people said Happy Mother's Day, the worse it got. Now, of course, these people are being positive. Hey, Tanya, Happy Mother's Day. And I'm like, Happy Mother's Day. But the more I heard it, it was really like those words, for some reason, were like a dagger every time somebody said it. And I just could not keep it together. I, was cordial with everyone and said it back, but after about maybe 5 people, I was in a corner in tears, trying to pull myself together. Okay, let's get through this. We'll be okay. They're being nice. They are. And people know the things that I've been through. And I don't think anyone was being malicious by saying it. Who's malicious by saying Happy Mother's Day? They just didn't know how it affected me until a friend of mine who actually also lost a child at a very young age, but still he lost a child and still dealing with his grief. He happened to say something to me and he saw it on my face and he gave me a hug. I don't know if that was better or worse, because then other people joined in on the hug, and then I was really a mess, a blubbering mess. I didn't think hearing those words would be so difficult for me. I mean, I'm still a mother. I still have my son, my other biological son, my 2 bonus sons. I still have sons, but one was missing. And being that this is the first Mother's Day without Miles, it was very difficult. It was very difficult. He always, whenever he come to my house, he'd just come in the back door and yell, "Mama!" And no matter if I'm standing right in front of him, he would still yell "Mama" like that. And I realized I wasn't going to hear that anymore. Usually he'd try to come by on a Sunday and we weren't at home. And he'd call me, "Where you at? Why don't you sit still? What are you doing?" Not going to hear that anymore. My baby fussing at me. So a lot of things just came to my mind, and a lot of things just really tore me down. And I'm hoping it's not like this every year. I'm sure it's just because this was the first Mother's Day, without him. It also brought it to my mind again that it's been almost a year. It's been almost a year. Time has gone by so quickly. I can't believe my baby's been gone that long. So we did go out to the cemetery after church, and I, took care of his grave marker like I normally do when I go out there. And I just stood there staring at it for a while. Sometimes it's hard to believe that it's actually real, that he's actually gone. There's so many times when I expect him to call, or I want to call him, or I think about checking to see how work is going for him. He had just gotten a promotion 2 months before he passed away. It's crazy. It's crazy. Especially when you're just trying to go through life and try not to dwell on it. But it's always there with you. I'm tired of crying. But I also miss my baby, so it's gonna happen. Like I said, I knew Mother's Day was gonna be difficult, but I didn't think it would be that difficult, simply because I've been dealing with it for a while. Luckily, last year, he gave me a balloon. It wasn't helium filled, so it's still filled, and it says Happy Mother's Day. And so I was able to pull it out and, at least still have that. That's the last Mother's Day gift he gave me, which, of course, had me emotional as well. So I felt bad for my husband and my other son, because I felt like they took me to dinner and got gifts and everything, and, got cards and really nice things, but I couldn't be happy. It's that thing that we talk about, where does the balance come in? How do you balance dealing with the grief, but still being happy? Because there's still people here who are trying to make you happy, who are trying to celebrate you on these days that you are to be celebrated. And it's not something you should feel bad about. And I felt bad just because I couldn't celebrate with them like we normally would. I mean, it really was an emotional roller coaster. There'd be laughter and jokes and a certain smell. Someone walked by with a really good smelling cologne, and it reminded me of him, and it just took me over the edge. And my poor husband, he just tried his best. If he could tell something was about to hit me, he would, okay, come on, let's move, let's do something different, or let's talk about something different, or trying to change the subject. And I appreciate, that he's been trying to keep me positive, keep me in a good light, to try to keep me from slipping into depression. That's like my biggest fear. I've been through depression before, and I don't want to go back there. So I fight it. I fight it every day, all day, every day. But I know that it doesn't take much to slip back there. And not everyone is strong enough to realize that the depression is starting to creep up on you and to put it under control. Now, to be transparent, I've had to deal with therapy before, and counseling and medication due to depression. So I know if I want to not be back in that position, I have to do what I have to get it under control. I'll shed the tears. I'll deal with the pain in that moment. But I have to snap out of it. I have to move forward. Because depression, I don't have time for. That's the best way I could put it. I don't have time for it. And like I said, I know there are other people who may not be able to control it that way. If you are dealing with depression, if you think you may be dealing with depression, if you have an overwhelming feeling of sadness, an overwhelming feeling of hurt that you feel like you can't overcome, please get help. There are professionals out here, and there's nothing wrong with getting therapy. There's nothing wrong with getting counseling. I hate to say it, but our community, for whatever reason, looks down on therapy and counseling and whatever help is out there, because we think we can handle it on our own. And I don't need to talk to somebody else. You probably do. And I know there's married couples who may feel like, I've got my spouse, I could talk to them. You may be bringing them down. The two of you may need to go together, or go on your own to get yourself together so you're a better you for them. Either way, depression is real. It cannot be prayed away. God put these tools here for us so that we can use them. I'm not saying don't pray. I'm not saying don't go to God. Don't give him your problems. But please don't ignore the many people who are here for us to help us with our mental health. Because your mental health, if it's not in a good place, there's so much that can go wrong physically through the rest of your body. And you'd be surprised at how much your mental capabilities control. You may think, I don't want to deal with this memory. I feel sad about it, but you know what? I'm just going to go and I'll go jogging. And then all of a sudden you can't even jog any further. You can only mask it for so long. So take the time to get the help. Take the time to reach out. Even if it's speaking with someone at church who will help you and who will pray with you. Something to alleviate the pain and the sadness from yourself. You don't have to go through it alone. I'm not just talking to you, I'm talking to myself, because I keep thinking that I can fix everything. I've got it. I don't need help. I do need therapy, which I'm in. But with a lot of things, I try to fix it myself. I try to take care of it myself. And I know that I have people who are willing to help me. So many people, and I believe we talked about this before, so many people say, what do you need? What can I do for you? And I just can't come up with it because I'm just taking care of it on my own. That's not the best way to deal with it, I know. but I don't know how to ask people, even when they're offering. I don't know how to ask for assistance with things because I feel like I got it. I'm Superwoman. No, I'm not. But I try to be, which isn't the best either. I have friends of Miles. They all reached out to me on Mother's Day, which was so sweet to me. But, of course, that had me in tears as well because they do all call me Mama. And so, happy Mother's Day, Mama. I hope you're doing all right. I had a couple that said, Mama, what do you need me to come do for you? One of them even said, do I need to bring you a glass or something? However, whatever I need to do, Mama, I'm here for you. And they really just wanted me to know not only how important Miles was to them, how important I am to them as his mother. And they know that I'm going through it just like they are missing their friend. But they knew Mother's Day was going to be difficult for me. So I got a couple tributes, I got a couple messages, and I did get a couple of laughs from them. But at the end of the day, I literally told one of them about maybe 8 or 8:30. I'm just ready for this day to be over. I was just over Mother's Day. I didn't want to hear it anymore. Again, 2 church services. So, of course, throughout the services, happy Mother's Day to the mothers. And with the ministry that I'm a part of at church, I actually put together all the gifts for the mothers. It was a really sweet gift that I got for them. And, they were all happy. But on the inside, I'm just like, I'm ready for this to be over. I am ready to go home. I don't want to smile and say Happy Mother's Day one more time. But it's not their fault. I don't know what they are going through. There's other mothers who lost children at my church. There were people who lost their mothers. So who am I to try to take that away, from being positive to them, being positive with them about the day? I tried to keep my sadness and keep my tears for at home behind closed doors. Didn't work the whole time. Like I said, I lost it a couple times at church. I couldn't even sing. I was supposed to lead a song, and I had to tell my pastor to change it because I didn't know how I was going to be standing up there. And it's different things, like we've talked about previously, triggers. Different things that trigger, and it's not even sadness. One Sunday, my pastor was talking about Jesus being the lifter of our head, how when we're down, he's there and he lifts us. That was a trigger for me. That's a positive word. That's a good word. But he's had to lift my head so many times when I thought about it. It was a trigger. So it's funny that I literally thought I would know when I'd be triggered, how I'd be triggered, and how I'd react to it. I want so badly to be able to control this. I really do. I'm not used to not being in control of things. It should be a humbling experience for me. It's starting to, but I'm still trying to control it. And I don't know if I'm the only person who does that. I doubt it. Maybe someone out there has the same issue. Trying to be strong for everybody else. And the problem with trying to be strong for everyone else, you're making yourself weaker. Because as you hold it in and suppress those feelings over and over, you are like a firework. And you're compressing those feelings until one day you are definitely going to explode. Not probably, not maybe. You are going to explode. So you can't try to just keep it in. You can't try to hold it to be strong. You can't try to hold it to keep a safe face. You're dealing with grief. And people know you're dealing with grief. Someone told me that I make it look easy. This is not easy. I just try not to wear my heart on my sleeve, as the saying goes. I try to smile. I try to push through it sometimes, but it's not easy. I'm glad if I make it look easy, because I don't want people feeling sorry for me. I want people to care who genuinely care, but I don't want, oh, I'm so sorry, and over, because I feel like people may, after a certain amount of time, like, okay, what do I say now? I've said I'm sorry. I've said, what can I do? And she's not reacting to that. So what do I do? And it's funny because I've definitely had people who have watched the podcast say, well, you don't want us to feel sorry. You don't want the hugs. And I don't mind the hugs. I promise you I don't. It's literally just, I don't want to feel like a charity case. And again, I've never experienced this before. So I'm dealing with it the way that I know how. May not be the best way. Hopefully it's not the worst way. It's just the way that I deal with it. It doesn't mean not to say I'm sorry. It doesn't mean not to be compassionate. I appreciate all of that. It's just I'm navigating through uncharted territory here. I don't know from one day to the next how I'm going to feel. Sometimes what I'm going to say, what's going to pop into my head. And it's crazy for someone who tries to plan everything out. I've got this to do in the morning, so I'm going to deal with it this way, and I'm going to call this person, I'm going to talk to this person, and I'm going to do this, and everything lines up. Nothing lines up for me anymore. I can plan to do all sorts of things. I usually have lists, checklists, and have all of that so that my day is in order. And it just doesn't happen in order. There are days when I don't know where the last hour went. Okay, what did I just do during that hour? And I don't like it. And I'm trying to get myself past that. I'm trying to get myself to where everything is lined up again. At least everything where it comes to me. My life won't be lined up the way it was because my life is completely different. But I have to figure out a way to line it up with what I have. And there's still things that come as a surprise. So it's hard to plan for it. It's hard now to plan it out, write how my day's going to go. I can't say, okay, I'm going to do this. And then probably around 10:15, I'll have a mini breakdown. So I'll give myself 5 minutes to deal with that and a couple minutes to compose myself. And then I'll get back on. We all know that's not how it happens. So what do? Now it's more of a take it as it comes and try to be prepared. So if this happens, then. I've never lived my life on an if-then scenario type of thing. But this is where I am now. So I'm going to try to do these things. But if this happens, then I'm going to have to make sure that I do this. Or if this happens and it throws my day off, I've got to make sure I get these things done. It's difficult. It's hard to prepare. It's hard to plan. It's hard to go day by day dealing with the unexpected like this. You never know when you're going to get a phone call from someone. I got a call from somebody last week. Wait, what happened to Miles? I didn't know anything about it. It's been almost a year. Where have you been? What? I can't expect them to keep up with my life in that way. The hardest thing is having to retell the story. Not necessarily everything that's happened, but if I've having to handle his affairs and say, well, I'm sorry to tell you he's no longer with us, or he passed away. What words do I use? How do I explain it? How do I not break down trying to tell people who have no clue what happened? All unexpected. All uncharted. Again, in my family, we hadn't dealt with a death to this magnitude since before Miles was born. I've never had to deal with everything that had to be dealt with from someone passing away. The last person to pass away in my family was my aunt, so I didn't have to worry about handling her personal affairs. I've never had to do that. I literally try to speak to people and try to be professional, and I lose it. And of course they're saying, oh, it's okay. And I'm just, let me pull myself together. And even in that, they're, oh, you're so strong. I appreciate that, but I'm just trying to take care of this for my son, because I know how my son would have wanted taken care of. So yeah, hopefully this one will go down as the worst Mother's Day ever, because I hope the rest get just a little bit better. Just not as bad as this one was. And I think it may. It was the first one. I'm still a mother. Just a part of me is not here, and I don't know how to even articulate it. I still wished every other mother a happy Mother's Day. I still expect people to have a happy Mother's Day. I can't expect the world to stop. I can't expect the holiday to go away just because I lost my son. We still should celebrate our mothers. Even my mom, I got her a gift, but I felt like I wasn't as enthusiastic as I normally am for my mom. And of course she understood, but I don't know. I miss him. That's for sure. I didn't have to buy sneakers. Miles always bought me sneakers. Now it's like, where do I even begin? Not that I need as many sneakers as he used to buy me, but even that's something that's difficult. On his birthday, that's what I did. I went and got myself a pair of sneakers just because Miles was what they call a sneakerhead. But even that's difficult. Picking out shoes. I did it with his brother to kind of soften the blow, but it's just a new life. It's a new life. It's a new, I don't want to say a new beginning. I don't even like to say the new normal, because to me it's not normal that my son's not here. But I guess that's what it has to be, is my new normal, or my current normal, because we know he's not coming back. If I could have controlled that, he would have been here. And like I said, I know that there's more people out there who are dealing with these losses. Father's Day may not be easy for me. Just the fact that he's gone. I know it's not going to be easy for his father. But what do? You take it one day at a time. That's all you can do. If today isn't the best day, try to make tomorrow a little better. If tomorrow's even worse, try to make the next day a little better. Just try as much as you can to live with your life now. Because grief, it is sneaky. It will sneak up on you when you least expect it. I had a conversation. I was laughing hysterically. And out of the corner of my eye, I swear I saw my son. Stopped everything. It's weird. I know that's a crazy way of saying it, but it's weird. It's weird not having him here. It's weird not celebrating things with him. It's weird that he was taken from us the way that he was. But one of these days it'll feel normal. It has to. I just gotta do what I gotta do. And if you're someone who's dealing with grief, you just gotta do what you gotta do. Take it day by day. Moment by moment. Because it's not gonna be a full 24 hours all the time. But there will be days that are just amazing. And that's okay. That's what I have to keep telling myself. Because sometimes when I have a good day, I feel bad. Like I'm supposed to be sad. Somewhere in the course of this day, I have to have a moment where I'm grieving. I don't. But I feel like people expect to see it. Even though I don't want them to see it. It's confusing, I know. All of it is confusing. But we're going to make it through it. We're going to get past it. We may fall backwards. We may get triggered. We may feel hurt. We will feel hurt. But we'll still make it. We'll still make it. You know why? Because we are mighty. In all you do, be true to yourself. Whatever that means, be true to yourself. Be strong and be mighty. We are here every other Friday, everywhere you listen to podcasts. You can see us on YouTube and Spotify. Please email me. If you don't want to be on a show, give me some topics. Let me know something that you're dealing with as a result of your grief or something that you're trying to navigate while going through your grief. You can email me at wearemighty, spelled out WEAREMIGHTY 24 @gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you. We'll talk to you soon.
They won't stop me now, they won't stop me now, they won't stop me, no. They won't stop me now, they won't stop me now, they won't stop me, no.